I'm feeling kind of fancy today.
Yeah, I can see that. Nice tie.
Yeah. Commentating superstar of LVO, David Singer, pointed out one of our last videos that we did. You were dressed up in a polo shirt.
I was.
And then asked why I wasn't dressed up.
He asked me if I was going to go golfing.
Oh, yeah, that's right. All right, so I think he challenged me to wear a tie.
Yeah, and
so
you did it.
I did. I am wearing a tie over a t-shirt.
I know.
I'm classy, but this is like a perfect knot. I want you to know. I'm quite professional.
It's not bad, man. It's a nice, was that a Windsor?
A little Windsor action.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
fine. It's good times.
I like it.
It's my first correction in the comments is going to be like, that is not a Windsor at all. But I'm very excited because we're going to start with something new that I've been working on. I'm very excited about.
Oh, man. This is great, by the way.
This is great. It's going to be fantastic.
Hi, everybody. It's time for Jon's Jank Corner.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
It's time for Jon's Jank Corner.
Man, do I love this like ragtime kind of like piano music.
Oh, yeah. It's good, but yeah, I was like the whole thing was to do like the fart game style music remix where it's just like minutes and just jank over again, jank. But then I just ran out of interest and stopped. But my wife was nice enough to record the like first bit there for me.
She's a very nice woman.
She's a very nice woman. But we're talking. This is the first of our new series of segments we're going to be doing here called Jon's Jank Corner. Kind of coming from a place where I love playing underutilized, underappreciated, underseen units. So we're going to talk about those units to my detriment sometimes, but I think a lot of the times there's some hidden gems out there.
Heck yeah.
And this week we're going to start with my current jank, my jank.
Well, let's talk about the jank that led up to this.
Well,
right?
let's talk about the jank that led up to this.
The history of
Jon's
Corner,
jank,
if you will.
So yeah, Danny, why don't you describe that? What is my history of jank?
Jon got this giant erection for mutilators.
The end.
Fiend.
Yeah, Finn. No, it's just playing around like mutilators, and it's like no one plays them.
Yeah, but they're actually kind of good for
them.
their points, I think, actually.
And then at the time, like back in the olden days of 8th edition, like pre-COVID, like 30 years ago.
Dude, remember when we could go to the game store?
Remember when there was a tournament? Like even just with 8 people. But yeah, so I started running mutilators in some of my test games for LVO, and they actually started doing work.
I know, yeah,
and like
they did.
People were complaining, well, you can't take out tanks with them, you can't do this. I'm like, well, don't use them for that. Like they were in 8th edition, they were like 100-point unit.
Yep.
For 3 models, you could deep strike pretty much anywhere because of their tiny footprint.
Right, because they were in those stupid little 40 bases, and there are only 3 of them.
Yeah, they were like 3 wounds each.
Yep.
They had an invuln save,
and then 2 up armor.
2 up armor, and then on top of that, I was running them as Emperor's Children.
Oh yeah,
which means I'm guaranteed to make one of my charges pretty much because I can change one of the dice rolls to a 6, and then they always fight first.
Yeah.
So what I started using them for was grabbing recon and character hunting. So, back in 8th edition, back in the days before it was like run to the middle of the table 40k, like 9th edition is currently, like you would have maybe the, what's the Tau shooty guy, the marksman dude?
Oh, the Farsight marksman.
Yeah. He would hang out at the back with a couple things. And then you would have other characters hanging out at the back or kind of just little units holding objectives. I just charge them with mutilators.
Yep.
And then your opponent has to make a decision. Do I charge all the other stuff or try to take all the other stuff at the other side of the table or deal with these 3 models that I've been told are trash? Janky trash. But I swear, mutilators have won me a lot of games, not by using them offensively, not by using their terrible, not terrible weapons, but not...
They're okay.
They're okay weapons, but just by being hard to remove, easy to put down, and irritating.
And the irritating part, that's where they really shine, right?
It's amazing how many times I had to explain to someone how Emperor's Children mutilators worked. Because again, no one played it. And I kind of got this nice thing. And that was one of the times when I decided I was going to stop, don't follow the meta,
make the meta.
And then get passed by the meta with like your own jank. But it was really good. So I've started kind of going along more from that. Like what can I bring that's unique? What models are they that can be underused? Because we started seeing a lot of, you would, like a new book would come out. So War of the Spider would come out.
Yep.
Plague Marines sold out everywhere for months.
True.
Doesn't matter for me because I'm trying to run Gellerpox Infected.
Right. Oh,
look at that segue.
Look at you go.
Man,
that's amazing.
It's the tie. It makes me professional.
It's it though.
just the tie. So yeah, today's Jon, Danny and I are going to be talking about Gellerpox Infected.
Yeah.
If you haven't heard of Gellerpox Infected, I wouldn't really blame you.
Yeah.
They came, it was described as an expansion for Kill Team, which placed a rogue trader kill team against this Gellerpox Infected kill team.
Right.
The Gellerpox Infected are a bunch of regular crew people from the ship who got infected by the Gellerpox, which is kind of like a big...
It's like a warp disease
going on right now. And they kind of mutate into this adversary list.
Yep.
And then with a lot of the kill team stuff and other things, they got rules for 40K.
Yeah. And initially you look at the rules and you're like, okay, well, these guys are just like straight up trash.
No, great. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about the bad parts of the rules.
Okay.
There's only 6 units.
Right.
No, sorry, 7 units.
Oh man, I did not put that together.
Yeah, because Nurgle. There you go.
Nurgle, baby.
You only have one HQ choice who you have to take. All of the units are capped at size, so you have to take 4 or 3, no more, no less.
Right.
There's really no adjustment on that. Because of the way the army is structured, you can only take them as a patrol.
And you can only also take 1 of each unit.
So all in, if you were to take every single Gellerpox infected unit, you're looking at about 300 points of investment.
Oh, okay.
Which is everything. Other things that aren't great about them, they're not objective secured.
That's too bad.
They don't have that rule. And then the other thing is when you deploy them, they deploy as one unit. They all deploy together.
Right.
Everyone has to deploy within 6 inches of the thrice, the warlord dude.
Right.
And if you cannot deploy them that way, then the units that can't deploy that way are destroyed.
Ouch.
So something I've learned very quickly is when you're deploying your army, that is the first set of units you deploy. Now, let's talk about the great stuff about them.
Okay.
Oh, other bad thing. Hull breakers. They're terrible.
Yeah, they're not great.
They're not great. They're too expensive for what they are.
Yeah.
But the great stuff about them, they're one deployment choice. So when I deploy my army, these 6 units that I'm taking, because I'm not taking hull breakers, they all deploy as one choice. Okay. And instantly, the idea for me is I put them on one of the objectives of my deployment zone. So I have 6 units on that objective. The other great thing, there is 3 amazing stratagems.
Yeah,
this army has.
They've got a couple of really good ones for sure.
And a couple of really amazing, stupid rules.
Yeah.
That catch people off guard. Let's first talk about, is it the Geller Shift? Oh, what's the Geller Shift dudes? I use them as jank, and here I am not even remembering what all the data sheets are. Man, messing with my props. The Vox Shamblers.
Right, Vox Shamblers.
Vox Shamblers are your troops choice, or one of your troop choices.
That and the Glitchlings.
That and the Glitchlings are your 2 troop choices for this. Again, you don't have any choice in unit size. So you have
3 Vox Shamblers.
Yep, 9 points each.
Which are essentially Plague Bearers, kind of.
Sort of, yeah. So they're the nice things. They're strength 4, toughness 4. They have 2 attacks base. They're leadership 6, and they have a 6 up save.
Okay.
They have actually a 5.
Do they have 2 attacks base? Is that what you said?
2 attacks base.
Yeah, not bad.
They come with frag grenades. Cool. Because I think someone modeled a frag grenade on it, and someone was like when they made the repulsor model, and the guy was just like sarcastically adding guns, and he was like, "Well, guys have to make rules for all those now." And then their close combat weapon is -1 AP, 1 damage.
Nice. Okay.
So it's not bad. They're hitting on 4s. Nothing really to blow you away, but still pretty good. Where they really shine, the Gellet cost masks that they wear gives them a 5+ invulnerable save.
Nice.
Each time you roll an unmodified saving throw of 6 for this unit in the fight phase, the unit that made the attack suffers 1 mortal wound after it's made all of its attacks.
Oh, that's cool.
So that happened in my game yesterday with Nate, where he had an intercessor
I've seen it.
squad attack me, and I rolled 2 6s for my saves. It took out 1 intercessor. And this is a 27-point unit. He also has the disgustingly resilient. So it's 5 up invulnerable, 5 up disgustingly resilient. What you pair them with is the stratagem of Geller Shift.
Okay.
Geller Shift is 1 CP. Use it before you move the Vox Shamblers in the movement phase. So not at the start of the movement phase, not before anything else moves, but before you move the Vox Shamblers. And what you do is you pick them up off the table, and then you deep strike them on the board more than 9 inches away from anything else. Which in this edition of objective grabbing, mobility, movement, having a unit I can start on my back edge and then instantly put in my enemy's deployment zone. Hype. So like yesterday in our game, the first thing I did was I Geller shifted those 3 into a ruin onto an objective. And what that did is it forced my opponent to have to kind of reroute an impulsor full of intercessors to go against that one instead of actually, going against the Plague Marines or something like that. Because do you want to hold less than me? Do you want me to score an extra 5 primary points? It's something you have to deal with.
No, you don't. That's the answer to that question.
You don't. So they're really, really good for that. And then, obviously 5 of 5 up is good. Doesn't last forever. It dies.
No, but it's for 27 points or however much they cost. It's like not terrible.
Let me tell you about glitchlings.
Oh yeah, glitchlings are great. I really
guys.
like these guys.
So if they were part of a regular codex, my army would be nothing but glitchlings.
I would definitely consider them like in the same boat as Nurglings for sure. Like they seem like they're like I don't know. They're like a less demonic version of Nurglings. So now, do any of these guys have the demon keyword?
I believe the glitchlings do, but that's
okay.
Glitchlings are like Nurglings and Casio keyboard calculator had a baby. They're little individual models on a 25 millimeter base. They have a movement 5. They have 2 attacks each, 1 wound each. Where they really shine, these models are about 1/4 of an inch tall.
Yeah, they're really small.
So in that little group that you've deployed, my glitchlings just hung out in the back line behind a wall on an objective, and you cannot see them whatsoever.
Nice. Yeah.
I think, in fact, if you put like a little barricade wall or like anything like that, they would still be able to hide behind it. So super easy to get rid of there.
That's awesome. Or super easy to hide is what you
mean. Oh yeah, super easy to hide is what I mean. Yeah. They re-roll wounds of hit rolls, 2 wound rolls of 1 for their weapons.
Oh, okay, just like Nurglings.
Because they have this disease, claws, and fangs. 5 up invuln, and then 5 up disgustingly resilient. But
nice.
They have that same squishable roll that Nurglings do.
Okay, cool.
So anything more than that. The other great thing, you subtract 1 for hit rolls. For attacks with ranged weapons against that unit.
Oh, cool, because they're little.
So you're hiding them in cover. They're -1 to hit. It's just they're just
real annoying.
real annoying. This is a 20-point unit.
Oh man.
They have access to one of the second of the 3 amazing stratagems that this this patrol detachment is able to take. As I just exit.
But man, more power to you if you bring a patrol of Gellerpox and nothing else. You'll be my hero forever.
If you win, yeah.
I brought 1,700 points of summoning.
Machine glitch, and these are all 1 CP stratagems too, by the way. Machine glitch is after a unit of glitchlings from your army has fought in the fight phase, choose an enemy vehicle unit within 1 inch of that unit. Roll 1d6 for each glitchling model that you have. On a 4+, it does a mortal wound.
Nice.
So your little assholes that you've hidden that are -1 to hit for shooting, if they move something over to just kind of plow through them, if it has the vehicle keyword, then for 1 CP, you're doing on average like 2 mortal wounds if you have a full squad, which
Not
is,
bad.
Again, pretty good.
Yeah. And like 4 if you roll hot, right?
Yeah. Exactly, and I won't, so it'll be like 1 or 0.
Well, sure, okay.
Let's talk about the real stars, though, the insects.
Yeah, so these guys are my favorite models by far. I think they're really cool looking models. I really like the worms.
Yeah, so there's the Sludge Grubs, the Eye Stinger Swarms, and the Curse Mites.
Oh, yeah, the Curse Mites, I forgot about them. Those are the fleas, right?
Yeah,
fleas are dope.
The Sludge Grubs, if you kill one of them in close combat, the model suffers a wound. Oh, sorry. If you roll d6 each time a model in this unit is slain in the fight phase on a 6, you do a mortal wound.
Cool.
That's about all they do. They're not great.
They also spit too, right?
They also, they have the pistol weapon, 8 inches, -1 AP, 1 damage, hitting on 4s. They are leadership 8, which is nice.
Oh wow, they're brave.
So they're brave, but they are very slow. They're 5 inches, which is along with the glitchlings, like the slowest part of this list here.
Okay.
But again, real tiny models.
Yeah, they are very small.
So these are great for like holding. Like I had the glitchlings and the sludge grubs on 2 objectives the entire game, and you could not see them.
Right, and like since these guys are low threat, right? They don't like do that much. Like a lot of people aren't going to shoot at them unless they want to try and get like kill more or something like that.
And then the other thing about it as well is, do I like take some of my shooting away from the dangerous parts of my army, which is kind of like the plague marines, the drills, like all of the stuff that can do real damage?
Yeah.
to kill 20 points worth of models.
Right.
That I can
and they have to
see.
waste at least one weapon on that squad, right?
Right, which is one less weapon shooting at my important stuff. Ice Stinger Swarms were amazing. They have a 10-inch base movement.
Those guys probably have the best rules, I think.
You subtract 1 from hit rolls that target, from attacks that target that unit.
So ranged and melee. That's pretty good.
And then at the start of every turn, you add 1 slain model back to the unit.
Nice, yeah.
And that, like, I added at least 15 points worth of models back to my army because they're 5 points each again.
You did it.
I did it. So those guys are super good. Curse Mites as well, as the last one we're going to be talking about. They have movement 8, so they're super fast.
Yep.
Each hit roll of 6, made with their close combat teeth, scores 2 hits.
Nice.
And they have 2 attacks base.
Okay.
So not terrible. And also they consolidate 6 inches, which is really great for some free extra movement.
Oh, yeah.
And you can reroll failed charges.
Oh, cool. Okay. So they're pretty fast.
So they're pretty fast. The third great stratagem that Gellerpox has is for 1 CP, you can bring back a unit of any of the vermin. So like the Sludge Grubs, the fleas, the mites. You can bring it back as long as you place it fully within 12 inches of another Gellerpox unit. So those 2 units of insects you have hiding on objectives, you can now freely restock your flies.
That's cool. So what about this? Oh man, okay. I just thought of a good.
I'm going to tell you the jank that I pull with it.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So I try and go second.
Okay.
I aggressively deploy one of my insect units to die. When my turn comes, my hidden the Gestalt, the metal mask guys, they Geller shift across the table at the start of the movement phase.
Okay.
At the end of the movement phase, I bring back a unit of insects within 12 inches of them.
Sure.
So then I have 2 units in that enemy deployment zone.
Sure.
For either line breaker,
Yeah.
or holding multiple objectives, or
both.
Scrambled coordinates.
Sure.
For getting the middle one. That's some great jank for that one there. Danny, what were you going to say?
So how about instead of trying to rely on your opponent to do something for you, just deploy. Sorry.
You're like, instead of being bad with them, what can I do?
Deploy 1 unit of the bugs outside of 6 inches of Grogor at the start of the first turn.
And they
dies.
just die. Oh, that is disgusting. That is so good.
Yeah.
That's the epitome of jank.
That is,
and,
that is the jankiest jank.
Dude, I'm doing that from now on. Those flies, I ain't going to start on the table like anytime soon. That's wonderful.
No, pick the unit that's
the slowest.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that. Sludge Grubs.
Yeah, there you go.
It's good times. I played with them a little bit. Played with them yesterday. They maxed out my primary score.
Yeah, they did work. I came in set and watched the last couple turns of that game, and so it was pretty cool to see them on the table.
Yeah, and what was nice is, and as I was saying, it freed up my Plague Marines, my drills, my Demon Prince, all my threats to go and do the things they want to do, which is just throw out mortal wounds, kill things, kind of reduce the enemy's ability to do stuff without worrying about having a dude in the back line to hold this objective or to do this or to do that. Is it fundamentally better than a patrol with just Nurglings and a Poxwalker?
I mean,
a Poxwalker, Poxbringer.
Yeah.
Can be not. I mean, it's certainly a lot harder to use, I would say.
I agree.
And situationally, it's going to let you down a couple times.
Probably.
But there's a lot that can kind of go into succeeding. The Vulgar Thrice Cursed, the Warlord guy, he's pretty tough for what he is.
Yeah, he's got a 5-up invul, toughness 5. He's got 5 wounds. Yeah, and he's got disgustingly resilient as well.
Belly Flamer too.
He does have that big old belly flamer.
Big old belly flamer. And then he also has a stratagem where for 1 CP, a Psyker within 18 inches of -1 to cast.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's like super helpful for a couple of things as well. So like a lot of weird janky things you can pull with it. And it's going to be something that a lot of opponents aren't going to be expecting.
That's true.
Because I know like that pretty soon here, another reason why I kind of go towards the jank is when like everyone's going to be expecting, oh, you're going to bring some Nurglings to grab midfield and do this stuff like that. And we're going to start seeing easy counters to that because people are used to seeing that and they have experience against that. But the wonderful thing about jank is you don't have experience against jank because
you never do because you don't suspect it
until it's too late.
Great.
So yeah, I love Gellerpox right now.
They're really cool.
I don't know what we're going to talk about next time here, but probably something equally as janky.
I'm sure you'll come up with something, John.
I usually do, and that's why I have.
Hi, everybody. It's time for John's Jank Corner.